Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshack here, and we have the announcement of the announcement. I'm just kidding. We have an announcement though of new upcoming balance changes, buffs and nerfs, including battlegrounds as well. Details on the newest patch are coming May 9th. Look forward to some adjustments to both battlegrounds and standard, including nerfs and buffs. So with that, there was some confusion. Akali kind of clean that up. We have some confusion about what we mean. Patch is this Thursday. So they had an announcement that the patch was this Thursday, but that doesn't actually mean the patch was coming out on Thursday. But we actually have confirmation that the patch will be coming out on Thursday, which is like just a couple days away. So we'll have buffs and nerfs. And the question now is, what do we think is going to get buffed and what is going to get nerfed? So as we know, one of the most powerful cards in the entire game and what is warping the entire meta right now is Thor. So this is at the top of our minds. Is this card going to get nerfed? And the answer is absolutely. I don't see how this card doesn't get changed. It just kind of makes non-games. Changes that can be done to this card. I know there was like a diamond copy that was in the shop for $25, but this card was just free. Like if you just played the game, I'm pretty sure this gave you this card for free. So if you went and spent $25 to make a diamond Thor to play in your best Naga DH deck to smash on your keyboard, I don't feel really bad for you. That if you have $25 extra to spend on a diamond Hearthstone card, I don't think there's much room to complain when they nerf that card that you bought specifically because it was broken. So while I'm sure they will give you dust refunds for it, it makes sense if they gave you like 3,600 dust or maybe like 7,200 dust. I don't think they're going to refund $25 to everybody who bought the diamond skin because they changed this card. But for changes, just have them summon one minion. I think that's the simplest, easiest fix that we can do. You also could make this an end of the turn effect. So if this costs more than every other minion in your deck, summon one minion from your deck, and it was just like an end of the turn effect. So if he lives, you get another minion, but you know, from the start you only get the one per turn. I think I kind of like the end of the turn effect. He's still good. He would make him a lot less good, and he's more like value-ish, which is kind of cool. So I would totally be fine with an end of the turn effect, but like I said, they'll probably just make it summon one minion, and then the card will be absolutely trash. So taking a look at some Sunken City cards here that I believe will get nerfed. Another one's going to be Multistrike. I see this easily going to 2 mana. I don't see why this would stay at 1 mana. It's just an insane card with the glaive that's currently out, which will cover as a possible nerf as well. But yeah, Multistrike going to 2, I think the card would still obviously be very, very, very good. And taking a look at the glaive itself, it's a 1 mana 1/3. If they're gonna touch this at all, you just make it a 1 mana 1/2, and then obviously the job is done. I think if you touch Multistrike and some other of the Demon Hunter stuff like Thor, you can leave this as a 1/3. I think this is not a problem card, but is a problem card because of all of its supportingness. You know, it has so many cards, whether it's Multistrike, Fury, Chaos Strike, there's just so many things that make this card better, right? That kind of make it a problem where they can hit you, they can kill an 8 attack or 8 health minion and then attack you in the face for 8, and you took 16 damage because you played a minion. It doesn't feel good to be punished for playing a minion, and that's what this card does. It punishes you for playing things. So if this goes down to 2 mana or 2 durability, that would make sense too. But if they're gonna start hitting the other parts of Demon Hunter, I'd like them to not just completely blow the class out of the water. Give it a chance. So Multistrike to 2, obviously the weapon being a 1/2, and that's pretty much it. But for buffs, what's going on? Appreciate you watching. If you do like the content and you like the channel, be sure to drop that sub. Leave a like and a comment on the videos that you do like. It really helps the channel out, shows it to more people, keeps it growing, and allows me to keep doing this as my job. And if not, that's okay too. I'll see you at the next McDonald's drive-thru. The Abyss. This guy is one of the worst Colossuses. We know that now. We know what the good ones are, Nelly, and Leviathan, and all that stuff. So I think what would be cool if we give the stocks lifesteal. You could even give the Colossal himself lifesteal, and then all of a sudden this becomes a lot better. So I think you pass this on, you give it lifesteal, and we're good to go. It's actually not the worst thing in the world, but currently it's pretty fucking bad. Looking at Druid, another minion here that sees absolutely no play because he's a terrible Colossal. bring this guy down to 6 mana. And the same thing with the Shaman Colossal when we go over him. Bring him to 6 mana. These board-centric Colossals that don't really do anything when they come out. You know, Nelly has the taunt with a shit ton of pirate value. The Leviathan attacks because it has Rush. It's got Divine Shield. It synergizes with the weapon. You're able to kill things and dredge things. There's things happening immediately. This... it's a turtle. You just sit there. It doesn't do anything else than give you 8 armor, and the shell doesn't even have an attack. Give this like 2 attack or something, and we're talking. Give this even 1 attack, and we're talking. But make this thing cost 6 mana, or give the turtle shell an attack. But yeah, this thing's fucking horrible. Taking a look at hunters. So as we know, quest hunter problem. Wow, who would have thought this would have been a problem? So right now, Quest Hunter in the higher legend isn't really big of a deal, but for the rest of the game, it feels some pretty non-gamey stuff. They never really play a minion, and then you inevitably just die by turn like 6 or 7 to an array of hero powers and spells that deal damage to your face. 2 things they could do to this Hunter quest, one of them being preferred by me, one of them's like a light band-aid, is do what they did with the Warrior quest. You extend it out and increase how many spells they need to complete the quest. So right now it's 2-2-2. You could change it to 2-3-2 or 3-2-2 or 3-3-2. Just increase the amount of damage with spells you need to get to the end result. A different thing that you could do is you actually just, instead of your hero power costing 0, because I'm not a big fan of things costing no mana. I'm a big fan of paying mana for stuff. I know this seems crazy, but I like paying mana for things because mana is how you do things. And when you get to play things for 0 mana, things get to be a problem. It always has been. So just have it change your hero power to cost 1 mana. And then it doesn't cost 0, and you actually have to spend mana to deal damage. And I think that's fixes a lot of the issues. And if you want, you can also extend it off 1 and make it cost 1 mana at the same time, because I don't really give a shit about quest hunters, so they can nerf this thing to the ground and it wouldn't bother me a bit. But yeah, I would say one of those 2 things would definitely fix that up real quick. Also looking at some hunter stuff, Conch Call is pretty bad. 3 mana, draw a Naga, and a spell is basically kind of just like, I don't want to say the same as an Arcane Intellect, but like, it's just not that great. So if this becomes 2 mana, all of a sudden, like, playing minions in your hunter deck could be a very plausible thing. Mage feels like it's in a pretty good spot right now, I'm not gonna lie. Mech Mage is, it's fine. The Naga Mage is pretty fine in my opinion right now. I don't think really anything needs to be changed with that. Mech Paladin is some of the most brain dead shit I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how they change Paladin because it's strictly run by just Cariel. If they nerf Cariel or they nerf like Smite, the entire Paladin archetype falls apart. So maybe they make Leviathan a 4/4. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not sure what they do with Paladin, but that's a class. In regards to Priest needs some help, and I am definitely going to assume they're going to buff some Priest cards for sure. Maybe we see Whirlpool going to 8. That would make a lot of sense too. Priest is currently rated as one of the worst, if not the bottom class right now. It is just atrocious. Priest is right now. So could see a couple Priest buffs. I don't play a lot of Priest, so I don't know. But Whirlpool going to 8 makes sense for me. Rogue feels fine. There's nothing wrong with Rogue in my mind right now. Pretty boring archetype, but there's nothing needs to be buffed in my opinion. Everything's good. Rogue's just not broken like Demon Hunter is. Shaman feels perfectly fine besides this possibly going to 6 mana. At 6 mana, he becomes a good card. And I think having a good card that revolves around things being played on the board that don't freeze you and make non-games and don't deal like 15 damage lightning bolts with bioluminescence, it's a good thing. So I think Glug going to 6 would actually make him fairly competitive, and I like having cards that are bad that become competitive. Warlock is in a very interesting spot right now because it basically really sucks. They gave it a shit ton of curses and they gave it a bunch of Murlocs, and Murloc decks are always normally memes, and the curses unfortunately cannot be played if your opponent is playing Quest Hunter because you're just auto-completing your opponent's quest and they're just gonna kill you faster. So right now, curses are in a terrible spot. The Abyssal Curses, that is. The Curse of Agony is actually in a pretty good spot, but the new mechanic they came out with is in a really bad spot. So what I would like to see, 2 things. Make Abyssal Wave cost either 5 mana or make it cost 6 mana and deal 5 damage to your opponent's minions. Basically just kind of like, because it does it to everything, right? So just have it deal 5 to everything for 6, or make it cost 5 and have the same effect. I think 6 mana to deal 4 to everything, including your stuff. This is horrible. This is a horrible, horrible card. The other thing is this guy. Imagine if this guy was a 6 mana 6/6, the Abyssal Curses heal you for the rest of the game. You could even make him a 7 mana 7/7 or something. Make it so like it's the effect is permanent, because right now this guy never lives. Like there's no possible, like this card is just it gives a curse, but it's just not good. So if they change this effect to make him better, or it like lasts the whole game, that would be pretty crazy, and they would actually make curses pretty damn good, and it would give the deck a pretty, I think it would turn it into like one of the best control decks. So we'll see what they do there. I doubt they'll do anything, but yeah. From the depths, absolutely. This is gonna reduce the bottom 5 cards in your deck by 2, or they're gonna reduce the bottom 4 cards of your deck by 3. It's gonna be one of those 2 changes, most likely. Again, these are predictions, guys. This whole thing is predictions. I am predicting. I play a lot of Hearthstone. I kind of see what issue cards are, and I can kind of come up with what we've seen in the past and what we'll probably see from the depths. They could do 4 mana on this, sure, but like that's boring. Just make it bottom 4, or just discount by 2. I think that would be fine. Nelly, this thing's going to 8 mana. I don't think they reduce the amount of pirates you get. I would be surprised if they make it 2 pirates instead of 3. I still don't think that fixes the problem of getting a 1 mana Mr. Smite. I think the problem is people being able to go from the depths Nelly on turn 4. I think that's a problem. So if you nerf from the depths, make this cost 5, or make this cost 8, then they would play Nelly on, what, 6 or something? And that's a little bit more manageable. Right now, playing Nelly on 4 is a fucking joke. You just lose, right? So Nelly going to 8 would be really nice, or reduce the amount of pirates you get by 1. That seems fine. They could buff this card. They could make it like a 2/1 or something. I don't think they're going to touch this card, but this card doesn't see any play, but it's a cool card. So maybe 5 mana 6/6, or give it, imagine if they give it 2/2. This card would probably be broken. If they make this 2/2, then a Weapon Warrior may just be one of the best cards ever. They also could make this guy an 8. Looking at a neutral card that's in a massive amount of decks right now, like a stupid amount of decks, is this School Teacher card. Right now, there is no reason you won't play, like, why would you not play this in your deck? So I think when we have cards like this, like Bran, Naga, School Teachers, just crazy, right? Let's make this a 4 mana 4/4. His effect is already insane, right? Like, why do we give some cards insane, like a 4 mana 5/4 stat line is just good. That is a competitive stat line, always has been, has the Naga tag, has an insane ability, and that insane ability scales with Bran. Make this guy a 4 mana 4/4. With that, that is some of my nerf and buff predictions. It'll be interesting to see what happens. We also didn't include Abyssal Deaths. This could cost 3 mana, and I think that's fine too, but we'll see what happens. With that, thank you guys for watching. If I happen to miss out on anything, or if you would like to include anything, be sure to leave that in the comment section below as always. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video as always. I'm Robert Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.